Yesterday I gave you guys this challenge to find the line where the slope is 2 and it contains 0.31. So immediately I saw people writing things down like y equals 2x. They knew it had to start that way because the slope is 2. And then people were trying to figure out what would be the y-intercept. And a popular guess was to look at the y value, and it's 1 in this point, and so some people wrote 2x plus 1 as their guess. So let's test that theory out on this graph and see if it goes through 0.31 and has a slope of 2. So I'm going to graph this using the methods that we have done in the past, where this is our begin at positive 1, and then we will use the slope of 2 over 1 to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. However, when I look at the point we were aiming for, 3, 1, that is over here, and this line does not go through that point. So 2x plus 1 is not our correct answer. So we need to figure out what it should be instead. Start again with the y equals 2x, since that has the correct slope. And this time we'll start with this point, 3, 1, and we'll use the slope from there. So we could start by going up 2 over 1, and get 1 point on the line, up 2 over 1. But what we really are wondering is where is it going to intersect the y-axis? That will give us our y-intercept that's going to go right there. So we may have to kind of go backwards and go over 1, down 2, over 1, down 2, until we hit the y-axis. And there it is. Our y-intercept turns out to be at -5. So then I would put it right here, -5. Get rid of this circle here. And our equation that truly has a slope of 2 and goes through 0.31 is this, y equals 2x minus 5. At first it was hard to figure out how to get the right equation just with slope and a point, but I'm going to show you an equation that helps us to get that right away. It's called the point-slope form. I've already written it on the whiteboard in the classroom, and it looks like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I'm going to identify a few things in that equation for you. We know that m equals slope. And most people's next question is what's with the y1 and the x1? And that's actually going to be the coordinates of the point that we know is on the line. So if we went back to our information from our last line that we were figuring out, if we know that the slope is 2, we would put 2 in for m. So I'll put that right here. And if we know that it goes through 0.31, we're going to use that as our x1 and our y1 and put that into this equation that way. So here we would have x minus, and then x1 is 3, so I'll put that there. Alright, so that's, I figured that out from right here. You put the x in for x1, and then you're going to put the y value in for y1, which will be right over here. So y1 would be 1, and then I'd have y minus y1. So I put it in, here's my equal sign in the middle. Right now it doesn't look like anything, but I need to solve for y, and then I will know what my equation should be, and it should match the equation that we figured out last time. So solving for y here, first I'm going to have to distribute this 2. So on this side I'll still have y minus 1, and on the next side it will say 2x, and then 2 times -3 would be -6. And the only thing I have left in order to solve for y is to add 1 to both sides. So that would say y equals 2x minus 5, which matches the equation we had before. So today you're going to be working on an assignment where you are given slope and 1 point, and you are to use the point-slope form and plug in your m value and then y1 and x1, and then solve for y. And your goal is to get an equation like this as your answer. Let's do another example together. So this time we've got slope equals 4, and it contains point -2, 4. So I'm going to start writing this across y minus, and then I'll look for y1 is going to be my y value in this point. So I'm using 4. And then I'll have my equals sign. M will be my slope, so I have 4 for that as well. And then I have x minus, and then x1 is my x value in the point. It's negative, so I have x minus -2. Remember, if you're subtracting negatives, to put both of those negative symbols there. So what it really ends up being is x plus 2. If I were to rewrite this that way, y minus 4 equals 4 times x plus 2. Now I can start solving for y. So I'll distribute this 4, and that will give me 4x plus 8 over here, and I'll have y minus 4 over here. And then I need to add 4 to both sides. Y equals 4x plus 12 would be my final answer there. The other type of problem you're going to see in your assignment today is that you will just be given 2 points that the line goes through, and you will be asked to find an equation for that line. So you can still use the point slope formula, but now you'll have to calculate the slope by subtracting the 2 points. So we would start by getting our rise by subtracting the y values, and we'd have 4 minus -2, which is really 4 plus 2, so we've got 6 for our rise. And here we would have our run, 4 minus 1 equals 3. Our run is 3. So rise over run, 6 divided by 3 would be a slope of 2. Alright, now that I know the slope, I can choose either one of these points that I want to use for point slope. And I like the positive numbers better, so I'm going to choose 4, 4. And then I would use the point slope equation, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And I will plug in the values from 4, 4, and I'll plug in this slope here. So it will look like y minus y1, which is 4. And then our slope, 2 times x minus x1 is also 4. Now I simply need to solve for y, so I'm going to distribute this 2, get 2x minus 8, y minus 4 over here, and then add 4 to both sides. Y equals 2x minus 4. And that is how you solve if you're just given 2 points.